Here's your Farm and Ranch Report from the Montana Ag Network.
It's time for today's Farm and Ranch News as we come back to the noon news. In crop progress update related news, USDA is reporting that for Montana, spring wheat is at 23% complete, up 10 points from the previous week and behind the 5-year average of 34%. While barley planted in the state is at 23% complete, above last year's progress of 17%. Durum wheat planted was reported at 13%, which is ahead of last year's by 1%, but slightly behind the 5-year average of 16%. Winter wheat was reported with 92% of the crop breaking dormancy, with conditions rated as 78% good to excellent compared to 58% this time last year. In other crop insurance related news now, in 2018, U.S. growers planted 32.7 million acres of winter wheat and 13.2 million acres of spring wheat. Total wheat acreage in 2018 was 47.8 million acres and was the second lowest wheat acreage on the record in the U.S. And wheat-based crop insurance policies were purchased on 38 million acres in 2018, representing 81% of all wheat planted. In Montana, 91% of the wheat in the Big Sky State was covered under crop insurance, and the percent of the planted area covered by crop insurance was the highest in North Dakota, followed by South Dakota, Minnesota, and Washington State. Some interesting statistics there. We'll be back with more Ag News right after these messages. As we return back this afternoon, the Department of Agriculture on Monday extended the deadline to May 17th from May 1st for producers to certify 2018 crop production for payments through the Market Facilitation Program. The Trade Relief Program payments will be issued only if eligible producers certify acres before updated May 17th deadline proceedings. Farm Service Agency says the deadline was moved because weather that delayed harvests in many parts of the country prevented producers from certifying acres. Of course, this program helps producers who have been significantly affected by foreign tariffs, resulting in loss of traditional exports, according to USDA. To date, more than $8.3 billion has been paid to nearly 600,000 applicants. MFP provides payments to producers of many crops, including corn, cotton, sorghum, soybeans, wheat, dairy, hogs, and almonds. Producers can certify production by contacting their local FSA office today. And finally, this afternoon, President Trump is promising an agriculture focus in Japan trade talks. President Trump promises agriculture will be a focal point in trade talks with Japan's Prime Minister. And farmers and ranchers are hoping a deal with Japan will make up for lost market access after the U.S. withdrew from the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Japan and TPP member countries have signed a new agreement now in place, giving other nations reduced tariffs and improving access to Japan, resulting in a decline of U.S. products flowing to the nation. Before meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe last week, Trump stated the two would be discussing agriculture. The trade deal would likely increase exports of wheat and beef from Montana and across the nation, while Japan will be seeking market access in return, which could include growing markets for its specialty ag products. The U.S. and Japan earlier this month agreed to accelerate trade talks in hopes of reaching a speedy deal. And that will do it for today. I'll send it right back over to the news desk.